Okay, here we are. We're out at Kindred Farm today, joining us live with these beauties. We're going to be hanging out with the cows today.
Guys. Okay. So, what would you like? What would you like to know?
Well, maybe you could share a little bit about the story of these three. And
Well, what I'm trying to do right now is they have a great forest right here, but they've kind of eaten away all of their grazing. They are grazers, so they've pretty much cleared a lot of the ground area here. So we're training them to eat out of hay bags so they can be integrated with the horses, because the horses eat out of hay bags, and so they're doing pretty good. Cows tend to use their tongues to pull the hay out, so they have a little bit of hard time than horses do, but they're doing pretty good.
getting the hang of it.
Yeah. But they will,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get away from this thing here. This is Gracie.
It's Gracie.
This is Gracie. She has vision problems. If you look at her eye, it kind of, the muscle moves around like that, so she, I think this is worse eye than, she can see a little better out of the other eye. But she does pretty good. She's not completely blind. She does have some sight, but she gets herself in trouble. And when she was at the other farm where she was living, she got herself trapped in a gate for one, and she got a huge injury on her side there. And then after that, she fell in butt first into a well, and we think she's got some pretty serious injuries on her hip and stuff like that that caused some problems. So the farmer was about ready to slaughter her because she was more trouble than she was worth. And our hay guy who was haying the field there, he took a liking to her and asked us if we would have room for her. So we had just lost a chicken, so it was a bit emotional at the time, and I was like, yes, we'll take her. And then we went to go see Grace, and then we saw the herd that she was in, and there was a little tiny baby calf that was nursing with a mom, and that was this girl here. And we'll go around and see her. But we noticed that her mom was limping quite a bit. And so we weren't surprised when a week later the farmer told us that they had euthanized her mom because she had fallen and broke her hip, and so they put her down. So then we knew that this little one was orphaned. And we kind of have the philosophy here that we don't want any one species to be alone and to be on their own, even though they are mixed quite a bit. But we thought, you get one cow, might as well get two cows. So we started talking about, well, what about the calf, and we would see that the calf was quite alone as well, did not mix in with the other herd. Gracie was often left alone. So for the owner said, yeah, we could have the calf too. So we're loading them up, and then he says, oh, and by the way, she's in calf, meaning she was pregnant.
Oh, surprise!
So, that was a surprise, and so we went from a tiny little chicken to 3 big cows. So that was a little bit of an adjustment in our space. So we bottle fed Peanut because she was still nursing. She was only about a month old when we got her.
Wow.
And, so we figured out, we got a big bottle, we figured out how to Hi, sweetie.
Hi, Peanut.
And she was a little peanut when we got her. So she's a big peanut now. But she is she's so smart, and she's probably the most social, I think. You know, as far, and I think it's because we did nurse her, and she had all these different people who were caring for her. Just wondering if this is the safest. Oh, there we go. I'll take care of that.
Peanut.
So that's Peanut.
Hi.
And then 9 months later, we had a live birth.
Oh, wow.
That was this little girl. And we did. We asked our volunteers and our members to come up with a name. And one of our youngest little volunteers, she said Clover. And we thought, oh, that's a perfect little name for her because she's lucky. She's a lucky Clover. So, because she will always be with her mom. She won't be taken away from her mom like other calves are in the industry. And as a matter of fact, she still likes to nurse a little bit. She's 2 years old March, so she's a little over 2 years old. And almost the size of her mama.
Yeah, wow.
So,
Oops.
but I think they go till they're about 5 years and they're fully grown. Peanut still is growing. And
So that's their story.
There's their story, yeah. And they are, when we bring kids here and we talk about, you know, Gracie first adopting Peanut as her own and loving her. And then we got Peanut and Clover had to learn how to be with Clover, a little sister who was taking her mom and attention away from her. So they had to figure things out. So they are they're half sisters.
Yeah.
So they have the same dad.
Oh, okay.
Only different moms. So the dad was a Highland cow with the really long hair and the really long horns. So those are those Highland cows. They're really gorgeous. If you look them up, they're really gorgeous. So that's where her long hair comes from. Peanut's got really long hair. And her mom was a red Angus. So her mom had the red coloring.
Okay.
So that's where she gets her red coloring. And the dad was kind of a light brown, too. So, yeah, should we fix your bangs? Huh? Should we fix your bangs? Oh, yeah. Look at those pretty. She was going to have the big horns, and we debudded her when she was little. And it wasn't that traumatic. I thought it was going to be traumatic, but it wasn't very traumatic at the time. And we're really happy that we did, because they use their head a lot. They use their head in play. They use it for communication. They use it to say, I love you. They go head to head, and they just, so I think it would have been pretty dangerous for us to have big horns out.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. You right, baby?
And now she can show her affection.
Now we can get all close to you without worrying. Ready? Yeah. Oh, you like this one.
Oh, Peanut. Hi, Jay. Jay's joining us.
Oh, okay, good. Hi, Jay.
Feel free if anybody has any questions or wants to know anything else, just let us know. Hey, Peanut.
You want that?
Just like a puppy.
Oh, scratches. Yeah. So they were bred to be beef cows.
Okay. Hi, Denise. She says, beautiful trio.
Yeah.
They are quite the trio.
They are. They are.
Nice to have each other.
They love each other too. If they're ever separated, oh my gosh, you hear it. You can hear it. They bellow. They bellow quite a bit when they get separated.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the changes you had to make bringing cows onto the farm?
Oh yes, well, we learned something about cows and how they're different from horses. So a horse will see a barrier, and even though they probably could jump over it, they don't jump over it. So pretty wonky barriers will keep a horse in. But all of our fencing, cows were not gonna, they were just plowing through it. And Gracie, she has one direction, that's forward, so she gets going. That's it. She just keeps going through the barriers and everything. So you will see what we have had to do. This is our back acre. We've got beautiful trees. But right over there is our neighbor's field with long grass. And so they would just plow right through there. They didn't care of the prickly bushes or anything. They would just plow back there, and then trying to bring them back was always a challenge. So the grass is always green on the other side for a cow. And so we have, I haven't counted them all, but we have almost our entire farm has used these fences, and they're portable because we will be moving eventually, so we want to take them all with us.
That's awesome.
So this is what we have surrounding our entire back area and our front area as well.
Right.
So,
and people can donate.
people have donated.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got little plaques around the other area too when people have donated a piece like this.
Yeah.
So that's what we've had to do, and it started with a small area, and then they break through another area, so we buy some more, and then more, and then more, and yeah, because
And to keep up with them.
yeah,
They
so
show the way.
Cows and barriers, yeah. They got boundary issues.
Always looking for adventure.
They are. Yes, they are. And, yeah.
Awesome.
What else can I say about them? So they're ruminants. So a ruminant will eat, fill up one chamber of their stomach, and then they will regurgitate it and chew it a second time. So it seems like they eat a lot, but they will take a break and they will stop and lay down, and then they'll chew it a second time. So they can go for a while without food because they have like a little storage of food that they can keep processing. Even though they'll tell you that they're very hungry. Versus a horse that isn't a ruminant, and a horse needs to keep fiber in their stomach, so horses eat constantly. So that's why we use the bags for the horses, so that they can have fiber 24/7. But the cows, they don't have, we don't give them hay overnight. They can manage fine overnight. But if we have them together, then we want to make sure they can eat out of nets. So
Right.
but I could open this up, and we could, it looks like Badger wanted to say hi, so I don't know if
Oh, okay.
you want
A little guest appearance.
to appearance. He always likes to be the center of attention, so plus he kind of wonders if we're giving them treats or not. So we've got our little broom thing. We also, one of our volunteers donated. These are amazing gloves, if you can find them on the internet. So they're like, they got 3 different kinds of scratching things on them. So you can just put it on your hand, and then you just pet them. And you just pet them. And they love it.
Oh yeah, it's like
And they are very itchy because the flies like to lay on them. Oh yeah, we were introduced with a black hornet that came with Gracie, and it kind of bothered us because we thought hornets, they're kind of dangerous, right? So, but anyway, we learned that the hornets it was quite a ecosystem that was on the cow. So the flies basically, they lay their eggs in there, and then the eggs hatch on them, and then they live on them. And so they pretty much stay with the cow. And the hornets are eating the egg larvae. So it actually became quite a nice little ecosystem. So we accepted the hornets.
embraced it.
We embraced them because they were helping to keep the fly population down
Yeah.
in a natural way.
That's cool.
So that worked out. We did that. And I'll just open this because they like have places.
Sure.
Oh, that's facility. And Grace was named Grace, Amazing Grace, actually, because it did feel like after losing that chicken, it was very sad, and then so then to be gifted this cow, it did feel like Grace.
Yep.
But she is anything but graceful. She is the most ungraceful animal, and that's because of her injury back here. So she kind of swings, and she goes, and then her vision loss, she just plows through all our gates. She knocks things over. She's broken our picnic bench trying to scratch her butt and everything. So we have to kind of Gracie proof the yard when we let them out into the yard. But she is quite loving. All of them are so loving, and they love each other. And and we have to get a special farrier out. He's called I won't say the name, but special farrier who's got this machine, and she walks into it, and he put her on it was like a sling. So then he would squeeze her, hang her up on a sling, and then he's able to trim the feet. And it's the only way to do it.
Keep them comfy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Isn't that Grace? She knows her name too. They all know their name.
They do. That's
Yeah.
cool.
You guys, I don't want you hitting that thing, so I'm gonna take this off.
You're really getting the hang of this hay bay.
Yeah. There you go. That's great. The trees are good, but not when they got pokey things. There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
And you'll see they pick things up with their tongue. And if you ever got cowlicked, you would see that, you would feel actually, their tongues are very rough, like cat tongues. So they're very sticky and rough. And that's how they eat. They'll use their tongue to grab things in. And So those salt licks, those blocks like that, they're really designed for the cow because of their tongue. And horses don't have that same kind of tongue, so they don't get enough of the salt when they're licking it. So we will give loose salt to the horses, and then cows will get the blocks. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see how she's using her tongue to pull it up. So which makes it harder to eat out of a net, but they manage pretty good, and it slows them down too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But their cycle is very close to the human cycle, so she was pregnant for 9 months.
Oh, cool.
And then they also go into heat, like they go into a cycle every 21 days as well. So we'll get them bellowing and mooing for a bull when they're in heat.
Oh.
And when there's no bull that comes around, then they start mounting each other.
Oh.
So, but luckily that lasts for a day or two, and then they're through that. So that's mama and daughter.
Yeah, so cool.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, is there any questions? Anybody want to know anything else about the cows? Hey, Clover. Let's go see what Peanut's doing. Still working away.
Oh, I should get rid of this. Oh, it's a trip hazard.
Checking it out.
They like to crowd around one feed area, so I always try to see if there's any trip hazards around where I put the hay bag. So this would be a trip hazard. So I don't know if anybody's been to one of those paint nights, you know, you get a glass of wine or several glasses of wine and you paint something. So we want to have one here, and we're going to do her face.
Oh, fun.
Sure. She's the face of a cow. Oh, see, this is going to be a problem. All right, I'll move it.
Oh, hold on, Peanut.
move it.
Hold on, Peanut.
Oh, watch out. Here we go. Let's move it. I didn't put my quick release knot on it. Oh no, here comes Gracie. Oh no. Oh, wait, you guys. Here she comes. Look out, Grace. Should I put this on the ground too? Let's just put it on the ground, you guys. And then you go into nap time.
Oh.
Right?
And do they usually nap together or close by?
Yes, they are always together. They are.
They know their routine.
Watch out, Grace. Watch out, P.
Oh, hello, Peanut.
Watch out, P. There you go. Good girl.
Oh, so it's not a trip hazard. You're just fun to hang out with.
Yeah. Happy cows. These are happy cows.
I was gonna say, real happy cows. Very lucky cows.
And they will share a pile of hay. Our horses will not share. Our ducks will not share. Well, ducks will share. Our bunnies will share, but
Oh, awesome.
would you like me to scratch that? Mosquitoes.
What do you think, Clover? Is that better? You can see, yeah. Do they lose a lot of hair?
So,
Like shed it all? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're losing their winter.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty thick. And Gracie, her fur is quite thin.
Quite short, yeah.
So she has lost all her winter, so she's very thin. Oh, it's still coming up though.
She's got shorter hair, it looks like.
Very short, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Clover.
Oh, and one thing, if you wanted to come around here,
Sure.
what I learned was that after they get a sore and it scabs over and then the fur comes in white.
Oh.
So these were all in, this was probably the injury when she fell in the well. So this is former injuries. And then if we come around here, and this was a huge gash that she had when we got her. And the scab, it was just like this leather scab that was about this big. And it was kind of loose. We started treating it and it would loosen up. Like I didn't know how old it was. And then there were just tons of maggots inside of it.
Oh, no.
And that we had to treat that. We finally got it off and we've been treating it ever since. And now you can't even,
Yeah.
it's just a
Wow.
little scab. But it went all the way down there was her injury. So,
And it'll stay white. That's
and then
so
that stayed
interesting.
white, and then these were some other
Other little bumps.
injuries. Yeah, she just would run into things. This was getting
Right.
caught in a gate, or pushed into a gate and stuck, and it just hit up against her bone, and then just really injured her. But you know they didn't treat it, so it just tried to heal on its own.
Right.
And then I started actually researching maggot therapy because they used to use maggots. Maggots will eat the dead skin and actually help with some of the repair of injuries, gangrene and things like that. So I thought, well, maybe these maggots will be good maggots. They'll help to heal it.
Interesting.
So, anyway, I don't know if it's just any old flies maggots or if you have to buy special medicinal maggots or something for that. But we used other pharmaceuticals to help with it.
Yeah. Get her all healed up.
Yeah, so we're proud of that for sure.
Yeah. Now they've had their snack.
Oh, so I opened this up, but I didn't close the other gate.
Oh.
So that is a danger.
Oh.
So,
Okay. Yep. Keeping up with the cows. Clover, where are you going? Oh my God. Let's go see what Gracie's doing. All is well.
that is something about Peanut. If there is a gate open, she will find it.
Yeah, she moved quick.
She will find it. So hopefully they're in this little pathway that leads to the front field.
Okay.
Which we don't want them in.
Right.
Because that's our beautiful garden is in there. So so Gracie will soon realize her babies have left, and she will start moving to be with them as well.
Call them back.
Then I have to strategize how to get them back together without them all being where they shouldn't be.
So that'll be our next task of the afternoon. Awesome.
So when that happens, a lot of times we resort to bribery. But what I try to get us practicing is reward instead of bribery. So we try to lure them to a place or to come with us to a place, and then we reward them with some green second cut hay or an apple or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Versus trying to lure them with the hay in the first place.
Okay.
But bribery sometimes works. Sometimes that's all we have is bribery.
Awesome.
But,
well, thank you so much for teaching us all about the cows and their stories.
You'll have to go check out where the other two
Okay.
the young whippersnappers are over there.
We'll take a little walk over and see where they ended up, and then we'll sign off. Thank you so much, Chris. All right, let's walk over here. See where the little rascals ended up. So they made it all the way over here through this little gate over here to see if they could access that front garden back there that they know they're not allowed to be in. And here they are gonna hang out in this little pathway. There's Peanut and there's Clover. All right, well, thanks everyone for joining us today. If you guys have any questions or need to reach out at anything, just visit the website at kindredfarm.ca.